LessonsLearnt. This is Sherry, and this is Monday Quilt Chat. We're going to talk about everything going on over here with me and anything else that happens to come up out of my head as far as the quilting world is concerned. This past weekend, since I left you on Friday, I have actually been working on the Scrappy Celebration Sew-Along to get a little bit ahead on that for the Wednesday video. And as a matter of fact, I have the Wednesday video almost complete. I just need to finish a few of my bee blocks and make maybe one more clip, and I will be done for this week. So I will always be just a little bit ahead of you on it, but you will have the full week starting Wednesday to get your A and B blocks done. Some things I wanted to go over with you about that. Of course, there will be plenty of information in Wednesday's video as far as those particular blocks. I have added some tips and tricks in there to get your blocks to size and, to have the most accurate experience you can have with putting those together. They're not hard. They're not hard at all, but there are always some little tricks that we can do to make them really accurate and nice and neat, and that way in the end they'll all go together really well, and we'll have a nice accurate project there. I got all my A blocks done. I got one of my B blocks done, and I still have to do 5 of my B blocks, and I have 4 cut out. Need to cut out one more. I'll get those done today probably. So you don't have to do yours that quick. There's 12 blocks. There's 6A and 6B. So, you can do a couple of blocks a day and you'll have it during your week. One of each a day. You could do it that way if you wanted to. Or you could do all your A's at once just to kind of keep your mind rolling with that one, and then go to your B and do 2 per day. And, you'll actually have an extra day if you did 2 a day. So, very, very doable. They're not hard. There's not a whole lot of thinking. I think the best course of action for me, now that I've gotten rolling with it, is to cut out everything for each block that I'm doing. Like, cut out for all my A's, do those. Cut out for all my B's, and do those. Some other things I wanted to mention. Well, first of all, I have one of you that's even more ahead on this than I am, and we are kind of collaborating a little bit on this, and she sends me her tips and tricks, and then I, kind of follow suit and make sure that I tell you about those too. And she suggested maybe taking this page, which is page 41, out of your magazine and putting it, making a copy of it, or I cut mine out and put it in this page protector because you're going to be referring to it so much. And this is the one that has all the letters on it, like, your A blocks, your B blocks, all the way up to M, I think it is. And you can see them distinctly. Now, in the video, I was referring more to, let me show you. I was referring more to another picture, and it was the picture of the quilt already made up. I still think maybe I will probably, be referring to this one a lot too, because you can kind of see the density or the volume of print that is in each one. And it doesn't have to be exact, but I don't know, that kind of helps me a little bit to decide which one of my prints I want to use in that particular color for that particular block. But anyway, I cut out the whole thing from the magazine, stapled it, and then I'm using a page protector to just kind of store it in. Now, another thing that she said that she thought about doing, I don't know if she ended up doing it or not, but make a copy of this one in black and white. And then that way you can mark off, see how I have X's on some of them? You can mark them off as you get them done. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but it is kind of a motivator to, fill that up, so it'll keep you going. So I decided to do it just to see if, you know, that would be helpful for me. It might be helpful for you too. So there it is. So I just took one of my older rulers that I don't use anymore. I don't use these Omni grids anymore because the lines are just so thick for me. I don't cut accurate with these. I have to have my Quilter Select that has those little fine lines on it. So that's some things that I would suggest for you. Oh, I was going to say, and cut it with this. Or a wallpaper knife or something. I mean, you could cut it with your rotary cutter if you can get in that, you know, the spine of the magazine. Or just use your magazine. You don't have to do all this special stuff. If you're not worried about tearing up your magazine, it might be a little tattered by the time you're done. I mean, this might be tattered too, I don't know. But yeah, I think those little things kind of help us stay organized and, you know, focused on accuracy and, you know, getting things done and done well. So that's some suggestions that I have for you. I did not work on anything else this weekend. I was going to put something on the long arm. I just didn't have it in me because the thing that I want to do next is the Hazel's hat, and I got that 108 wide back for it, and I showed you that last week. It takes a lot of pinning to get one of those on there. So you have to pin across that 108 3 times. So I just didn't have it in me to stand there and do that. I will work on it this week, I think. I think I'll probably, you know, just pin one side and walk away, go do something else, and then come back and pin again. It's just a lot of standing. I just don't do well standing in one spot for a long time. So I didn't get any long arming done, but I sure did want to. I just didn't have it in me physically to do it. I did not work anymore on the, I showed you on Friday the Simply Jelly Roll sampler. A couple of you pointed out that I had 2 of those checkerboard blocks together. The colored ones were together and they're supposed to be every other. I fixed that. Thank you for telling me about that. Anytime you all see anything wrong, please tell me and I will get it fixed because I don't want it to be wrong either. I haven't got my little outer border fabric in yet, so I've just got everything there just like I had it on Friday pretty much. And when that fabric comes in today, I think it comes in today, I'll cut those strips out and I'll just set my mind to getting those borders on, getting that done, because that's easy enough to get out of my queue of things that I'm working on. I don't think there's anything else that I'm looking around. I don't think there's anything else that I touched this past weekend as far as sewing goes. Let's see, what else could we do? Well, let me look at here's my journal. I did my journaling last week. Yeah, by and large, I worked on the Jelly Roll quilt almost all week. Oh, there's something on here about the auction. The auction for the Blues Boutique quilt is going on. It will end Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're Central, that's 5. If you're Pacific, it's going to be 9 p.m., somewhere in there. So everybody should be home, you know, from work and stuff. If you want to jump on the eBay auction and watch how it goes down. It's at $435 right now, $435. I have a feeling there might be some bidders out there with a higher bid and, you know, like their maximum bid, and then as the time approaches they'll start getting those notices, and you know, it's possible that there could be a little bit of a bidding war. I hope there is. Sorry, buyer, but I hope there's a bidding war. You know, just to kind of drive up that donation a little bit. But it's a very nice quilt. I mean, it really is. It's something that, you know, it's going to last 100 years, and you know, it's the boutiques especially, you know, appeals to just about everybody. There's very few people out there that can look at a batik quilt and say, oh, I don't like that. They're just so beautiful. I think probably for next year, we may do another one this year. I don't know. We're getting late in the year already. But I would like to do 2 next year possibly, especially now that I've got some of the, logistics are ingrained in my brain now of how to do it and, what's involved in everything. So, yeah. And, I don't know if I'll stay with the same charity. It might be something that's another different charity that's related to pets and animals. But I think we can do 2 next year at least 2. I think it's good to let a little time go by too, and not saturate, with always doing these charity quilts. I don't want to be doing charity stuff constantly because, this is not a charity channel. This is just something that I wanted to do, just as an addition to the channel, not a prominent part of the channel. The prominent part of this channel really is, promoting the love of sewing and quilting, and also teaching what I can about it, motivating people to do it. That's more the purpose of my channel, really, is that. But this is enjoyable to do a little charity thing, and I think we can do 2 next year. Now the next pattern that I'm going to do, I haven't chosen yet, but I think we will come back to the first one that we did. So maybe we'll do one a little bit different for the next one, whenever that is. And then it'll also be something super simple and inexpensive to ship and all that. But and then we'll come back to the first one, version 1. We need to give these like a a number or a name or something, because over time we might have several patterns, so we can just call them Blues Batik 1, Blues Batik 2, and so forth, I guess. Don't want to get it too complicated. Anyway, batiks. I still have lots of batiks. My box up there was getting low after making the backing for that quilt, but some of that backing got sent back to me, which, Mary always does, when she does a Longarmer, I've asked her to send me all the scraps, because, scraps. But there was quite a bit that, was cut off all the way, on 3 sides. 3 sides? All 4 sides. And that filled up my box again. It's like, uh-oh, they bounced back. Not all of it, of course, obviously, but there's still plenty in there to use batiks as the the theme for our charity quilts, sort of. Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. Let's see, what else I do. I got the Wednesday video almost ready for you. I think I mentioned that. Yeah, I think that's about, well, you saw this on Friday. I bound 2 quilts last week. The Batik quilt and the Funky Cat improv quilt. So that was the majority of the things that I did last week, besides maybe the occasional sweep the floor, things like that. Okay, recent acquisitions. Tula Pink's Deja Vu Tabby Road came out, so I was able to get the 2 main cat prints, and I got 2 yards of each. And I'm glad I did, because, if you just get fat quarters with a print this big, you're not going to get, you might get half a cat, somehow in that. So I got yardage. I got 2 yards because, look at that kitty. And of course, Tula's colors are yummy. And then here's the other main cat print, but the cat is a little bit smaller. So those were the two main prints. So these will go into my Tulip Pink collection, and all of those fabrics, as you know, coordinate with each other between lines. So just in addition to that. And I got those because those are the ones I liked, and I didn't buy anything else of it. Not that I didn't like the rest of it, it's just that I didn't have a purpose in mind for it. So I had no business buying a 1 yard all or a big bunch of it. I have a graduation gift I need to make, and this person is crazy about lilac. So I found from Quilted Twins, I think they're out of Florida, right? A 10-pack of half yards in a lilac color. I'm putting them together here so you can see it. Very pretty combination of lilacs. I believe that's lilac, don't you think? Just little prints and little swirls and different things. I'm going to put this together maybe with another color too as a sashing or something. I don't even have a pattern picked out yet. I'm sure I've got something around here easy I can do. I'd like to get this wrapped up because the person has graduated this year, so I need to get this done. This is from Quilted Twins. It doesn't have anything on the selvages, so it is not a designer fabric, but it'll do. It has a good feel to it. It's soft. The prints themselves are not real sharp. They're a little bit on the, I don't know, they're just a little fuzzy, I feel like, the actual prints themselves. But I think the quality of the fabric is pretty good. Oh, what I didn't tell you was I got 10 half yards for $30. So how many yards is that? 5. That's 5 yards of fabric for $30. $6 a yard. $7 shipping, so I've got plenty. It's definitely going to be enough to make the quilt with. So an economical way to make a gift quilt for someone who was looking for something specific. She doesn't know about it yet. I asked her mother. I said, what color does she like? And she said lilac. She loves lilac. So I had to find lilac. Okay, last week from Monday's video, I mentioned that I was getting these in, and I have one for you. So this is the Quilt Art Engagement Calendar 2025 from AmericanQuilters.com, American Quilt Society. You can go on their site and order this. You can also become a member and get discounts on things like this. I have that when I go to Paducah. That gives me my show ticket less expensive and things of that sort. So you can go on there and become a member and get this for $3 less. Otherwise, I think it's $15.95. So I have an extra. I bought an extra for one of you, and the comments on last Monday's video is what I'm going to pick from. So I am going to insert a clip right here of the winner. All right, here we are. We're in the comment picker. There was 139 comments, and I'm going to hit the start button. It will take 10 seconds to reveal the winner. Vera Weeks 8534. Congratulations, Vera. Send me your shipping address right away to the email LessonsLearnt2021@gmail.com. You are the proud owner of the new Quilt Art Calendar 2025. I'll talk to you soon. Congratulations, Vera. I hope to hear from you very soon. I'm anxious to get this over to you. You're really going to enjoy it. It's a weekly calendar that I've been using as a journal. So, there you go. I have 2 magazines that came in. I'm going to go through them really quick. This one is the American Patchwork and Quilting, and this is the October 2024, and you can see it's going to have a lot of fall stuff in it. And I will show you through here some of the things that I appreciated about this magazine. Some of the pictures, some of the patterns, and other articles. For those of you that have a long arm, you may have seen the last, or a handy quilter long arm. You may have seen in their last video that the 2 gals was making, they were both doing their rendition of a long arm design on this leaf. So one did more angular straight lines and the other one did more veiny stuff. And there's, a little lesson in here about that. But there's a video under Handy Quilter as well, so you can hear them themselves talk about it. There's a new block of the month called Gem Tones. If you're into solid colors as a quilt-along, you can do this one. Maybe we'll do it sometime. I'm not much on solid colors myself. I probably should do a solid color quilt. I've got plenty of solids over there that I could do it with. If any of you are interested in doing that, let me know. Here is a designer challenge between Betty Chuchian and Joanna Figueroa. And what they did is they took a pattern design, and one made it traditional and one made it modern. And you can probably tell there which one is which. And then they're interviewed in here and talking about the differences. And there's also the patterns for those quilts are in here in detail. And I believe there's a couple more here I wanted to highlight for you, if I can find them. Here's the one on the front, and it's called Twirling Leaves. That would be great for fall, wouldn't it? I like their little twirly leaf. Kind of reminds me of the windmill garden that we did on a sew along. I like this pumpkin trails as well. Very cute. Kind of an Irish chain with a longer type of pumpkin. And all of the templates are in here for that. And let's see. Maybe one more. Here's another pumpkin one. What I liked about this one is it has some of that aqua in it. I think that's not a color you normally see in a fall quilt, but I think I like it. It's got a darker blue and the aqua. Cute. You know, the other day when I said, do I have a fall quilt? Do I have a fall quilt to put up? That was after I finished that Star of Wonder for winter. It's the apple quilt I'm supposed to be putting up. Remember the apple quilt? Well, you don't have to remember too far back. Seemed like I just got that done. I don't know why I forgot so quickly. Look at this pink one. Isn't that pretty? Surrounded by love. It's got hearts on it. On the corners. Let's see, is that it? Yes, that's it for that one. And then the other one is the American Quilter. And this is the September 2024. I don't know why they put the months on magazines anymore. They don't do a full 12 months. Why don't they just do like issue 1, issue 2 and the year? For example, this subscription you can get off AmericanQuilters.com, and you can get it cheaper because if you're a member. only has 6 in a year, so it's kind of weird to give them month names, isn't it? I shouldn't worry about such things. Now, I do remember there's something in here really, really cool that I want to show you. Now, this magazine is geared more towards more of the art quilts, obviously. It's talking about the new hand quilting that people are doing, which it's not newfangled or anything like that, but it's just different than it used to be. You know, used to the older quilters from old times, I will say, you know, they concentrated really hard to get their stitches very, very consistent and straight. But now there's a lot of this like sashiko and big stitch and kawandi. See that kawandi quilt there? See the stitching in it? It's not super perfect. Just straight lines, nothing fancy. But it does give a very pleasing effect. Now, this one, Leaf Riot. This is called Leaf Riot. Looks super hard, doesn't it? Well, it is foundation paper piecing, but it's not hard. It's very, very simple, the way this goes together. Here's a block, for example. You'd be doing it in 4 pieces. But this would be a good starter foundation paper piece for you. And the paper is in here, or the pattern for it. It wouldn't be hard if you want to start something for the first time in foundation paper piecing. That would not be hard. Let me see if there's anything else in here I wanted to pull out. This one. This I want to show you. This lady's name is Chitra, blah, 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 but she calls herself Chitra Mandana. She has one of those long, complicated Indian last names. I can't pronounce it, but it starts with a B. Anyway, look what she can do with quilting. Doesn't that look just like a photograph of herself? I mean, I'm sure she used a photograph to do her quilt with. But there's also, I imagine that's her as well, where she's, you know, her wedding picture. There's a little girl with a cow, a jazzed up truck, and a cactus with a flower blooming. From here, me looking into the camera like you're seeing right now, that flower looks like a photograph. It's amazing, isn't it, what people can do? What talent she has. There's also a section in here on landscape quilting. It's called Venture into Landscape Quilting. But it's not what you think. Not like how I do landscape. My landscape quilting is very kindergarten. I love to do it. It's fun and quick and easy, and you get the effect. But I will never get the effect like this. And see, here's how they teach you how to do the fabric selection and everything. You have to draw out or get a pattern that's already like this, and then fill it in with your fabrics to make it look real like that. Fascinating, very fascinating. I like to try something small like that, like something about like this, and try to do that. I'll probably never do that. I don't know. It might hit me one of these days that I have to do that. Yeah, it's kind of like the paint by number, you know. I know paint by number is still around technically, but we used to do those when we were younger. And I guess it was kind of an introduction to, you know, painting on canvas with acrylics, which I did try. And I did do in school. But I was fairly good at it, but I don't have the innate talent that people have that can do that kind of stuff. So I don't know that I should expect myself to be able to do it with a quilt either. But you never know. Maybe one of these days I'll do it. Okay, so here is the art quilt of the week. I'll put it right here so you can see what I'm talking about. And it is Shield Ferns. It's 43 by 43 by Lori Dickman of Rockford, Illinois. She says paper piecing is Lori's favorite technique. She designed this block using EQ8 software, and the ferns reminded her of time enjoyed in the garden. She was pleased with the results, that the borders were done with the same paper piecing method, and she used all batiks in the piecing and finished it with her own ideas for machine quilting. Yeah, I love her ferns. One side is purple, one side is green. Using batiks gives a lot of good texture and color variation, and she just did some fairly simple quilting on that. And it makes a nice 43 by 43 wall hanging there, I would say. Could possibly be a table topper, I suppose, but I'm sure something, you know, artsy like this you'd want on the wall. I sure would. Very cool. See what you can do with paper piecing? She said that was her preferred method. You can do any quilt with paper piecing, as a matter of fact. Anyway, that's what we have for this week. I hope you enjoyed our little chat, and it will help you be motivated to get going this week on your projects. Get some things out you haven't worked on in a while. Continue on with the ones that you're working on. Start some new ones. Join the Scrappy celebrations that we're having, you know, starting the cutting and sewing this week. So there's still time, and all that information is in the description box where you can get the magazine and or the pattern. And if you get that a little bit late of starting, you can always jump in along the way. But I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for the construction of blocks A and B, and you'll be well on your way to starting that. It's going to be fun. A lot of you have expressed excitement over this one, and that makes me happy that you're anxious to get started. And I hope you're all ready with your fabrics, and we'll get that going. And then we'll come back on Friday and see what we've gotten done. All right, have a great week. Sew a little bit every day if you can, and I will see you soon.